For the last section for the week, we're going to look at finding angle measures in polygons. On Monday and Tuesday, we looked at finding missing angles in a triangle, and we knew that they were going to add up to 180. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we looked at finding the sum of the interior angles of any shape, and then if the angles were equal, we would break them up. And we know they're equal if they were regular. So these are for shapes that are not regular because the angles are all different. The first thing that we have to do is we have to figure out what the inside, the sum of the interior angles would be. So to do that, the formula that you had was n minus 2 times 180. So this shape, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So I have 4 minus 2 times 180. 4 minus 2 is 2. Times 180 gives us 360. So this whole shape, the 4 angles inside, are going to add up to 360 degrees. So I'm going to add up my angles. So I have 56 plus 139 plus 77 plus x has to equal 360. And when I do that on the calculator, I have 56 plus 139 plus 77 gives me 272. And then I'm going to subtract that from 360. And when I do that, I get 88. So x is equal to 88. To figure out why the interior and the exterior angles still make a straight line lines have to equal 180. So 180 minus 88 will give us y, and we get 92. The catch with these problems is that this number here is always going to change. So this 360 is for 4-sided figures only. 180 is for only triangles. In the next example, we have a 5-sided figure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what the inside would be. So we have n minus 2 times 180. We have 5 minus 2 gives us 3. And 3 times 180 is 540. So these angles, the 5 inside angles, have to add up to 540. Remember that the boxes mean that you have a right angle. So we have the 90-degree angles. We have this angle, which is 148. This would be x, and then 164, and that has to equal 540. So this number is always going to change based on the number of sides. We're going to add up the angles that we're given, and we get 492 plus x is equal to 540. Subtract the 492 on both sides, and you get x is equal to 48. So x would be 48, z would be 48 because they're vertical angles, they're across from each other. And then to figure out y, here you have a straight line, and straight lines add up to 180. So 180 minus 48, and that will leave you with 132. So we did an example of a 4-sided figure that added up to 360. A 5-sided figure would add up to 540. And the next one we're going to do is a 6-sided figure, so now we have to figure out what that one would add up to before we can figure out what x or the missing angles would be. So for the last example, we have a 6-sided figure. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. To figure out what the inside would equal, I have n minus 2 times 180. 6 minus 2 is 4. And 4 times 180 is 720. So I'm going to add up all of my angles, and notice that they are algebraic expressions now because they have an x involved. So you have 3x plus 17 plus x plus 7 plus 2x plus 15 plus 2x plus 6 plus x plus 12 plus 3x plus 3. All of those angles have to add up to 720. I'm going to collect my like terms. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 3 would be 12. So I have 12 x's plus For just the numbers now, I have 17 plus 7 plus 15 plus 6 plus 12 plus 3, and that gives me 60 is equal to 720. So I collected my like terms, I kept all the x's together, and then I kept the numbers together. Subtract 60 on both sides. So 720 minus 60 leaves us with 660. Divide both sides by 12. And when you do that, you get x is equal to 55. If I wanted to, I could plug back in, and if I plug back in, that'll give me the angle measure. So 55 plus 7 would be 62. So this angle here would be 62. Up here, you'd have 2 times 55 plus 15, means that this angle here would be 125. The most important thing you need to take away is that with each different shape, this number will change, and you have to calculate that for each shape using the n-2 times 180 formula, which is the number of sides minus 2 times 180.